You guys got to be kidding me, right? OG Bloodline. I mean, the WWE is wanting us to believe that internally they're calling them the OG Bloodline. Well, guess what? They are not the OG Bloodline yet, damn it. They're not the OG Bloodline yet. And I'm here to talk about it. Wrestling Old Head, 36-year wrestling fan with an opinion on the current product. This is the portal that you have entered of pro wrestling. So let's talk about it. The WWE is trying to convince us that backstage they have been calling Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso the original Bloodline. OG Bloodline, haven't we already been calling them that? I mean, hasn't that been their name? Isn't that just the perfect name for them? I thought we have all been calling them that. I know I've been calling them that. But guess what? If Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns all get back together and they form their OG, triple OG Bloodline, they are not the OG Bloodline just yet. Well, they're missing some pieces here. One of the biggest pieces is the wise man, Paul Heyman. They need to get Paul Heyman back. When you get the wise man back, that's your head coach, right? That's the guy that has won you multiple championships, he's given you the ring. He's taking you to the dance of dances. You need to get the original wise man back to form this OG Bloodline. But that's not all. You need your dog, Sami Zayn. What's up, my dogs?
My dog!
You gotta have Sami Zayn come back. And Sami Zayn has, for all intents and purposes, he is pretty much vanished from WWE programming. We have not seen him since he lost his match with Gunther on WWE Raw. He's kind of disappeared. Maybe he's going to find himself again. And where he finds himself? Helping Roman Reigns in thwarting off the rogue bloodline that have been unstoppable and uncontrollable. See, that's where this is all gonna lead. And if you haven't heard my take on this rogue bloodline versus OG bloodline, then you should probably look up here at any minute on that corner or that corner. You can't see where my fingers are, but just kind of look around this screen and you might see a video that will link you to an in-depth look at where I feel this rogue bloodline, OG bloodline story is going. Now listen, I'm not a reporter, I'm not a journalist, I don't work for the dirt sheets, and I don't have an inside guy that's telling me this. My sources aren't telling me any of this. I'm a wrestling fan with an opinion on the current product. That is it. And where I see this storyline going is that eventually Sami Zayn returns and they form the OG bloodline. And do they go to War Games? Is it just their four? Do they add Cody Rhodes to help them out? I mean, Cody Rhodes with his history over the War Games with Dusty Rhodes, who knows where they go with that? But at the end of the day, Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns, along with the wise man Paul Heyman, that is the OG bloodline. And until they do that, they're just the triple OGs.
Yo, what's up, OG, triple OG, OG, triple?
I'll just call them OG triple OGs for now. But that's just me. On the other side of that, on this past Friday's WWE SmackDown, we saw...
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
And that's right, brothers don't shake hands, brothers gotta hug. Just as you saw from the clip, looks like the Usos have reunited after a stunning upset, and I would call it an upset. The Motor City Machine Guns are only 2 weeks in to their WWE tenure, and they are already the WWE Tag Team Champions, defeating the Rogue Bloodlines, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And in an unprecedented event, Jey Uso shows up in a hood and a mask, very similar to how Jimmy Uso returned to the WWE, gets revenge, exacts his revenge on the Rogue Bloodline via probably orders from, I don't know, the Tribal Cheeks in Rikishi. But however he did it, he was able to get that successful revenge, gaining that measure of revenge and giving the Motor City Machine Guns their tag team title reign for the first time in WWE history, only 2 weeks into their tenure. And then we got, and I'm not sure if most people, I was hearing some people saying this happened off air. I was able to catch this live, but Jimmy and Jey Uso embraced in the middle of the ring, a reuniting of sorts, and now Roman Reigns on the outskirts was, wasn't showing one way or another if he was happy, if he was excited, if he was pleased. Not really kind of giving us any indication on what he thought of that whole reuniting of the brothers there. But it was nice to see. It was a great moment for the WWE fans, and it was great in continuing this story for the Rogue Bloodline against the Triple OGs, the OG Bloodline. And as I was saying, this is the start, the rolling out, if you will, of getting the band back together. And now that we have Jimmy and Jey Uso on the same page, they're going to have to start talking to Roman Reigns. And I believe we might see some sort of a rollout with that next week on SmackDown, where Roman, Jey, and Jimmy will either get on the same page or they'll have to begin the process of getting together on the same page, the common goal of thwarting the Rogue Bloodline. So we'll see how that all plays out. I'm very excited to see how they're going to play this with a month to go before we get to Survivor Series. They have plenty of time. They have about 4 to 5 weeks of television where they can build to this moment of getting the band back together and getting into the War Games steel cage against the Rogue Bloodline. The question remains, are they going to utilize The Rock in his first War Games match? Are they going to add Cody Rhodes to a War Games match with Cody Rhodes' illustrious history with War Games, for the Blood and Guts, to the Dusty Rhodes, even his father coming up with the idea of War Games? Are we going to see Cody Rhodes involved in War Games? That's all questions that I have that will hopefully be answered in the coming weeks. If we don't get the 5-on-5 and we go 4-on-4, then we will more than likely see Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Sami Zayn, along with the wise man Paul Heyman, going against the Rogue Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa.
We gotta do.
Hey, sorry, I just forgot to say, you know that thing we talked about earlier? Yeah. I'll tell you all about it later. Okay?
Yeah. All right.
The War Games cage where the Bloodline collide. Bloodline Civil War. It's what I've been talking about for months now. We will see it culminate more than likely at Survivor Series. What do you guys think? Did you like the reuniting of the Usos? Do you feel that we're going to see the band fully back together as far as the OG Bloodline goes, with Sami Zayn included in that? And what role will the wise man Paul Heyman, if any, play in the band getting back together? You guys let me know in the comments. Drop a comment below and thumbs up on the way out, you guys. This has been the Wrestling Old Head, and as always, stay tuned for more.